let me just say this. I have never been more proud of each and every one of you. I mean that. This couldn't have been done. I don't know if you know how special this is. Uh, 539 applications from around the country. A lot bigger places than us. A lot more, let's say, a lot more influence maybe than we had or whatever. But they didn't have what we had, which is you and all of you. That was the difference. When you think about Steve, and he and I know each other for quite some time. All of us have worked with Steve. Donkey, all of us have known him for a long time and done a great job with the enthusiasm he works and comes to work every day with. Amy, if we ever needed a winning football team, you need a cheerleader to make it happen. And if you don't do the job as a football player, by God, she'll go out and take the ball and run with it. That's what happens. So when you have someone like Amy that just basically truly lives and breathes Charleston and West Virginia and makes it happen, that was contagious. County Commission, all of you, all my good friends here in the County Commission, working together as partnership. So the politics has gotten so bad in the country now. They make you pick sides. What side are you on? On the D side and R side? Be on the A side, the American side. The rest will work itself out. It really will. Having Jim Hoyer, I've known General Hoyer for so long. He worked with us when I was in the state senate, and did a terrific job there. And I've seen his career grow. Now being at WU and what he brings to the table, understanding West Virginia in a way that most people don't, because he's had to be able to serve for so many years whenever the call was made. And then to be able to bring one of our best back home, not because we forced him back home, but because he wanted to come back home. Brad Smith, now our president at Marshall University, and to have our two great universities. Generation West Virginia Director Alexandra Weld, I thank you so much, and I'm glad you had your husband escort you down and drive you and keep you safe. To Stephanie Tyree, where's Stephanie? Stephanie's with us earlier. Stephanie, thank you again for all you do. And one of the people that I've seen that not only talks the talk, but walks the walk, and has done it for a long time, when no one believed that he can make a difference. No one believed that maybe one person with that much commitment and desire to change things in an area that got left behind. And that's Brandon. And Brandon. I've been his fan for a long time. This is because of the American Rescue Plan. We've all got criticized, especially on political lines, about, oh, that's just a big spending bill. But there's one thing when you spend money, there's another when you invest it. This is the investment. When you get an investment, you expect a return. You're going to see the fruits of this investment. You're going to see the return. That's the difference. And that's what government should be your partner. We're not your provider, but we should be your partner. And you need good partnership. You expect back and forth from both. But when you look at this, what Amy didn't tell you, $62.8 million in this. Only 21 out of 539 got it. From the top, the highest one was $65 million. We're the third highest in the nation. To be recognized that's able to do something. And when you look at the Appalachian Climate Technology, Gail being the federal co-chair of ARC could not be more proud, because a lot of the investment that went into Appalachia. Because Appalachia is where all the heavy lifting. Appalachia is where rural. Appalachia is basically where most of our military people come from. Appalachia has always risen to the occasion. And now, I talked to Joe Biden when he was running, and he's been a friend for a long time. We've known each other, and it's been an up and down affair at times. And but there's always been a respect and a friendship. When you have friendship, it's got to be unconditional. You don't have to agree. We don't have to agree on everything. But that doesn't ever ruin a friendship because you don't agree with me, or I disagree, or we work through those. So we talked. I told him, I said, Mr. Vice President at that time, he said, what's happening in your area in the state? Our politics have changed completely. We all know that. I said, because most of the people thought they were left behind. I said, as a transition comes in, I said, we've done the heavy lifting. We've never complained. We've mined the coal, made the steel. We've done everything you ever asked us. But when the transition came, there was nothing else for us to go to. It's like people forgot us. He said, Joe, I'm going to make you a promise. That's not going to happen. we will not forget. I said, I believe it. I do believe it. Because I think you came from Scranton. You know what happened there. The same things happened in West Virginia. There's 21 counties that we're talking about got hit the hardest. Southern West Virginia. We have to reinvent ourselves. And Brandon's doing that every day. What can we do differently? What can we do better? How can we expand? He'll tell you about solar hall. He'll tell you about all the different things. You tack on what we're doing right now with what we've done with the bipartisan the infrastructure bill, but you take about the bill that we just passed, and no one really knows. They politicize this bill. It truly is the Inflation Reduction Act. The amount of investments it makes for the energy security that we need today and for the technology we need for the new energy of the future. This does it all. And we must work together on this. They're trying to politicize it and tell you how bad everything is, and it's all politics. The only thing that made this bill politics, the only one thing that made it politics, was we thought that all of the wealthiest corporations in America should pay at least 15% tax to the United States of America. That every corporation that does business, it used to be a 20% minimum. And we could not get a Republican to sign on with us. When we went to 15, I said, we got 52 corporations in America. Let me tell you the size of these corporations. A corporation to qualify, to have been subject to this 15% minimum, had to have $1 billion of book revenue for 3 years. We don't have one in West Virginia. We don't have any. We're paying our fair taxes. You're paying your fair share of taxes. Don't you think other people should? And then they use the thing that we, I hate to go off, but I got a chance, I got to do it.
It's your state.
The IRS, they scared the bejesus out of you. They're going to hire 87,000 agents. They didn't tell you we're 40,000 short right now. They didn't tell you that. They didn't tell you 55,000 are going to be retiring in the next 5 years. They didn't tell you that. They didn't tell you that we have not done hardly any audits on the high-end earners because we can't compete with their accountants. They didn't tell you that. They didn't tell you why you're not getting your calls returned, why you're not getting your returns back because we have antiquated equipment. They didn't tell you that. And they didn't tell you also that it was Republicans that worked with us on the previous bills that identified this loophole that basically was going on and we should close it. When we closed it, I couldn't get them on board. That was the bottom line. That's the truth. So all this stuff that we're hearing, gang, let's not divide the country any further. Let's not find a reason to be against something. Let's find a reason to be for it. This that we have the opportunity before us right now will transform who we are. It'll give Southern West Virginia a chance to reinvent itself. There's so much coming. And on top of that, we have the 48C tax credit, $4 billion coming to coal country. $4 billion on top of all this. Just identify. Myself and Debbie Stabenow, she put $4 billion in for auto industry as it's transformed itself. I put $4 billion in for coal. So any place in the United States of America that's had either a coal plant that's shuttered, any type of a coal business, or any type of a coal-fired plant that's shuttered down, you can attract, as we do now, using this for incubator, we can attract with a 30% discount all their taxes. And in areas where we bring nonprofits, we give them direct pay. We'll help them come into an area that never had an opportunity before. There is so much. My concern right now, we have the labor force. This is something, that's what everybody up here works every day on it. How do we basically educate? How do we recruit all of the West Virginians and people who have family and friends that want to come back to West Virginia? That's what this is about. And again, just to say that the opportunities that are coming are going to be endless, but on top of that, to be recognized in the United States as one of the best, to be able to put an application in where we were able to identify and show the need and also show the ability for us to transform in an area that's done so much for this country that got left behind and finally make up for that. That's what this did. And that's what each one of you, so you should be extremely proud, every one of you. Because without you putting your expertise and making this basically an effort, there was two. We had two from West Virginia that made it in the top 20. Made it in the top 60 finalists. When you had one, it's third in the nation. It's right here. God bless you. Thank you.